The giant rock statue has moved again. And it would seem this time, he's predicting something is coming from the Wailing Woods bunker. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another Season 7 video for Fortnite. The giant moving rock statue has changed his position again, indicating that something else is coming to Fortnite. I'm going to be talking about how each stance is indicating something important in the storyline, and how we might be able to predict the future of the Fortnite storyline by looking at this giant statue and his latest position. Ladies and gentlemen, this is all of the moving giant rock statues' positions and what they mean. Let's get it. It all started off when this giant rock statue was found outside Tomato Temple. At the time, this statue seems to be pretty harmless, and his position didn't really indicate a lot to players. To be fair, at the time, none of the players even cared. Nobody knew what it was, and nobody even thought twice about it. In fact, there was so little coverage of this, I could only find one original picture of this giant rock statue. The rock statue only became of interest later on down the line of Season 7, where his position changed. This was the beginning of his participation in the storyline. It would seem that the rock statue has his hands up to his face, possibly crying. Theorists believe that this was an indication of something terrible coming to Fortnite. Something that would make you put your hands up to your eyes and start crying. Something scary and doom-like. This tied in perfectly with all the things that were going on in Fortnite at this time, and a lot of these things are still going on. We have the clock running down on the hatching of the dragon eggs, which could literally happen any day now. We had fears of an incoming flood that would surely wipe out some of our favorite locations in Fortnite. And of course, we also had that strange object flying through the sky, which players are now presuming is the cube. Many people are saying that the creature inside these eggs seems to be getting bigger and bigger. And as time goes on, this is becoming more and more concerning because we know time is running out. There are multiple main locations which will change in Season 8's flood. The first one being the frozen lake. This is the most obvious location to flood because it's a frozen lake. When the ice melts, this lake will freeze and expand, giving us a brand new Greasy Grove location which is currently off limits. We also know that Polar Peak is melting, and we will get a new location with the Ice Castle as it continues to melt. The combination of these two ice locations will mean that there is going to be a lot of water in the center of the ice biome. This is surely going to leak out and start affecting other original locations in the game. Players that are reporting seeing something in the sky during the firework event. Something that can only be described so far as a purple comet racing across the sky and landing in the ocean. At least that's what it looks like. As of current, this is still unknown, but many people theorize that this could be the return of the cube. All of these things would make anybody cry. Certainly this guy. It's pretty much agreed that the crying statue's position was an indication of one of these horrific events that is coming to Fortnite. This leads us on to our investigation that we did when we went back to this crying statue and watched it during the storm. We found that the position of this giant statue moved again. This time, he was pointing towards Polar Peak. This indicated to players that maybe this thing that the giant statue was scared of that made him cry in the first instance was coming from Polar Peak. Maybe his hand gestures are signaling something to come. Maybe there is something coming to Fortnite which we need to be worried about, something we need to be crying about. Is that possible? Gonna just keep healing. Hopefully I can stay alive for as long as possible. Whoa! Dude! What? Dude, it moved. Dude, it's like it's pointing. Or dabbing. But probably pointing. It's probably pointing. Dude, he's pointing in that kind of direction. What is over there? Dude, he's pointing directly at Polar Peak, the iceberg. Is he? It's in that direction. Maybe there's something going on at Polar Peak that is making him sad. Maybe this is like a warning. Something is coming from Polar Peak. And this stone statue is warning us. Oh my god. Polar Peak has been a hotspot for all sorts of activities since the start of Season 7. So it would make sense that something else would be coming to Polar Peak. It would make sense if the giant rock statue was warning us about the dragon eggs. Now, interestingly enough, we've just had a huge update in Fortnite, and we now have this giant icy orb floating above Polar Peak. We're still unsure of what this exactly is, but is this the danger that the giant statue was trying to warn us about? Was he pointing up Polar Peak not because of the dragon eggs, but he knew something else was going to happen at Polar Peak? And it does tell us a lot about what could happen next. Currently, this icy orb floats above where the Infinity Blade once was, and a snowy current seems to be gravitating around this orb, a bit like a planet. Many ideas right now are being chucked around. Is this the Infinity Blade returning? Or is it something more dangerous, like a possible dragon? Is this the next dragon egg? Or could this be a portal, possibly, into another world with a dragon inside? My theory with all of this so far is it has to have something to do with the mages. If you remember back, we had the Caster and Elmira, the two mage-like skins, which seem to be tied into the storyline in some way. Polar Peak's castle has a bunch of books and mage-like items, which would suggest that these characters are somehow involved in Polar Peak. Is it possible that these mages have conjured up this magical ball above Polar Peak, possibly to defend it from the incoming dragon? It would seem at this point the giant rock statue is definitely indicating the future of Fortnite. It is warning us, it is pointing, and it is looking in the directions of things that are coming, things that we should be ready for. Now, with the most recent update, the statue has moved again, and he is now indicating that a new danger is approaching, something that we have to be ready for. And of course, he's now changed for the final time. Maybe the final time, I guess we don't know yet. Look at him, he is looking magnificent. And I don't know what he's doing, he's possibly pointing. Let's take a look in a second. I need to get a gun. This is the next piece of the puzzle. This whole puzzle of Season 7. Which way is he pointing now? It's like he's pointing off in the distance. Does this constitute as pointing? Is that what he's doing? His eyes are casted across this direction. What is he looking at? Is there anything over this direction? Oh my god, maybe the bunker is, right? The bunker is like there? Oh my god, maybe he's looking towards the bunker. Is that possible? Yo, he's looking towards the bunker and he's pointing maybe not towards the bunker, but his eyes are certainly gazing in that direction. Dude, he could be connected to the bunker in some way. It's actually funny that that's the case, because we recently just had the bunker in the ice biome. You know the one? I'm pretty sure that has just become available. I'll probably put a clip up somewhere to show you if it's available now. I'm pretty sure I heard recently that you can now break into there, or you can get in at least. The ice has been removed, that's what I'm saying. That is what this means. This means something to do with the bunker. And we already know during the storm, he pointed towards Polar Peak. Which has kind of now become pretty obvious what that was. I think we all know now what was at Polar Peak, or what was coming to Polar Peak. I'm gonna build up and get on his back just so we can see exactly the direction he's looking at. I want to get this right, you know? There's also this weird highlighted thing. This is something new. This has to be something new. We've seen this now at Polar Peak with the ice orb. And now this is, look, it's highlighting a weird color. Well, yellow's no, it's not a weird color, you know what I'm saying? Okay, I think it's fair to say that he's looking in this direction. And the bunker is here. Bruh. Bruh. He's looking at the bunker. So he's letting us know of the future. He's like a future teller. Think about it. He was crying because something bad was coming. He pointed towards Polar Peak during the storm. And now he's looking towards the bunker. Dude, Wailing Woods is pretty creepy at this sort of time. I mean, look at this place. This is so damn creepy. I'm gonna have to rummage through the storm, but we're gonna follow the marker and see if that does take us to the bunker. See if we were right after all. Look, right here, dude. Exactly where we thought it was. We still can't get in it yet. But I think something's about to happen with the bunker. I think the bunkers are about to open up. We're about to see what's inside. And it's all thanks to this giant, future-telling, moving rock giant. Jesus, this is heating up. Things are heating up in Season 7.